Hey everyone, and welcome. We're about to jump into a really important topic: how to navigate this new world of generative AI in our classrooms. Think of this as your field guide, and we're going to focus specifically on the guardrails, the things we need to know to use these tools safely and responsibly.
So let's just get right to the biggest question, the one that's probably on all of your minds. This incredibly powerful new technology is here. It's in our students' hands. So how do we use it in a way that's not just effective, but safe for our students and for us?
Okay, let's start with the most important mindset shift you can make. It's so tempting to think of AI as a vending machine, right? You put a question in, you get a perfect answer out. But that's not it at all. It's a co-pilot. It's your partner. You have to guide it. You have to direct it. You have to correct it. At the end of the day, your expertise is and always will be the ultimate safeguard. Now, with any new frontier, there are going to be some challenges. So before we can use AI to its full potential, we really have to understand the landscape. Let's take a moment to map out the potential dangers, just so we're fully prepared to navigate around them. When it comes down to it, there are three big areas we really need to keep our eyes on. First up is data privacy. You got to remember that these AI models often learn from what you put into them. Second, systemic bias. These tools are trained on, well, the entire internet, so they can easily pick up and sometimes even amplify old prejudices. And third, something called hallucinations. This is a weird one. It's when the AI just confidently makes stuff up that sounds totally plausible but is completely false. So, how do we handle that biggest risk? Data privacy. This is your first and most practical tool. Think of it as your classroom data firewall. On one side of the wall, you have safe stuff, general lesson ideas, public information. But on the other side are things that must never go into a public AI tool. We're talking student names, ID numbers, grades, basically any personally identifiable information. Here is a fantastic mental model that will keep you safe and compliant with privacy laws like FERPA. Before you hit enter on any prompt, just ask yourself this one simple question. Would I be okay pasting this on a public billboard for the whole world to see? If the answer is even a little bit no, then it absolutely does not belong in the AI. It's that simple. Okay, so now that we've mapped out the dangers, let's get you equipped with the tools for the trail. This next part is all about building a practical, responsible workflow that you can use every day. And to make sure you're using AI responsibly every single time, all you have to do is remember this acronym. First, E for evaluate the initial output it gives you. V for verify the facts, remember those hallucinations? Then E for engage with the AI, give it feedback to make it better. R for revise the output, make it sound like you, put your professional touch on it. And finally, Y, remember that you are ultimately the one responsible for the final product. All right, so you've used the Every framework, you've refined the output, and now you've got something you can actually use. But what's that crucial final step? How do we maintain our academic integrity and, maybe more importantly, model transparency for our students? Well, here's a really important piece of the puzzle. It's a legal reality. A federal court has actually established that AI cannot be an author. It can't hold a copyright. This just reinforces our role as the pilot, right? We are the authors. And for us as educators, that means we have a duty to be transparent about how we partner with these tools. And thankfully, this simple flowchart makes it super easy to handle that transparency. Just follow the logic. First question, did you use AI? If yes, then ask the next question. Does the assignment require a formal citation, like a research paper would? If it doesn't, a simple disclosure statement is perfect. If it does, then you'll need a formal citation. And here's what that actually looks like. A disclosure can be as simple as a little note at the bottom that says, hey, I used Google Gemini to help me brainstorm some of these ideas. A formal citation, like MLA or APA, is a bit more structured. You'll often include the prompt you used and the date. Either way, you're creating a clear AI trail so everyone knows how the work was created. This all brings us to our final and honestly most important part of this whole journey. We've talked about the risks, we've talked about the tools, but now we need to talk about your absolutely indispensable role in this whole process. This whole idea is called the human-in-the-loop paradigm, and it perfectly sums up your role. You are always the driver. Look at phase 1, the educator. That's you, steers the whole thing with a good prompt. Phase 2, the AI generates, but then it comes right back to you. In phase 3, you filter that output using all that risk awareness we just talked about. And finally, in phase 4, you finalize it and you claim accountability for it. You're there at the beginning, the middle, and the end. So, If you take away just one thing from all of this, let it be this. You are the ultimate safeguard. Technology is just the tool. Yeah, generative AI is an incredibly powerful engine, but an engine always requires a human driver. And in our classrooms, that expert driver is you.